We are building too many condos and not enough single family homes. These are like your detached homes, your semi-detached, your townhomes, etc., etc. Essentially a house that's on the ground, and it's causing the prices of these freehold homes to go up in price while condo prices generally stay flat or may go down because there's too many of them. So right now we're in the middle of a transition where owning a piece of land, with a house on it in Toronto will almost be a luxury that most cannot afford. And the train has left the station, and it's only going to get worse from here. So make sure you stay tuned as I break this down for you and explain why, if you are trying to get into a freehold space, so your detached, your semi, or your townhome in the GTA, especially the entry-level ones with the 3-bedroom and like 2 or 3 washrooms, there's going to be a timeline before it becomes unachievable because a lot of people are trying to go after that same product. And I think that time is getting closer and closer sooner than we think, right? So if you are contemplating making this move because you plan on growing your family, or you and your partner need more space than living in a condo, then you can book a call with me using the link that's right here. It's www.chatwithzen.com. Simply click on the date and a time that works best for you. And then when you see the prompt, fill in your name, email, mobile phone number, and the question you have for me, and then we'll chat then. Good day, Toronto. Welcome to another episode of Prime Properties TV. My name is Zen, and if you're enjoying the content I'm putting out there, do me a favor and like and subscribe to the Prime Properties TO channel. Now, I'm sure a lot of people have heard me say this, or even other people say this before, but the numbers are getting more and more real right now, okay? And what I mean by that is we are building way too many condos, and the idea of owning a single family home, it's going to be left for essentially the rich or people with homes that get passed on from generation to generation because it stays in the family. And as affordability gets tough and the condos do not appreciate the way that the single family homes appreciate, this is going to get really, really bad because that gap gets bigger and bigger, right? But I'm going to talk more about that on next Thursday's video. But let's look at the current landscape and the trend of what Toronto looks like right now. You can see over here, this chart shows that we're essentially building about 80,000 condos right now, like condo high rises, and only about 14,000 or so single family homes. That's about like 5.7 times as many condos as there are single family homes. So keep this in mind that the rentals in this chart that are being built are also high-rise apartments, or what we basically call condos in GTA. So it's easily more than 6x that number. Now, what most buyers right now are buying, and who they are generally millennials trying to buy a freehold home to raise a family. And this is a chart I've shown you before. And the millennials right now are the biggest cohort demographically after the baby boomers. And they are all essentially in the family formation age, which means that they all want a freehold home to raise their family. And as myself, as a millennial, most of us want to aspire to raise a family in a single family home as opposed to a condo or a high rise, right? And we're not building enough of the single family homes. Now, if we shorten the timeline on this chart, you can see like how much more exaggerated these numbers look, because you can look at the fact that the number of housing starts is going down, but condos and apartments are going higher, right? Clearly is that we're not building a single family homes because we're going downhill, which kind of means that the Canadian or American dream of owning a detached home with a white picket fence for, a decent income that you can earn is already dying or already dead, right? One of those things. So it's getting tougher and tougher. Now let's look at our population growth in 2023. And you can kind of see over here that Ontario grew about 3.5%, which is a stupid number, by the way, because if I do that right now, I'll show you, it means that we added about 500,000 people to the province. Yeah. Now I've said this in the past before, newly added immigrants, let alone like even PRs, don't just jump into the market, housing market specifically, or they jump right into a single family home when they're buying, unless they're coming with a lot of money, like bags and bags of cash. But if you look at the chart of population growth in Canada versus single family home starts, right? You can see the numbers here. They just don't add up. There's one single family home for 25 people coming to the country, let alone the people in the country trying to get a single family home, right? And it was already bad enough in the late 2010s with like, a 10-to-1 ratio. But now because of the immigration and the pandemic, it's like 2.5 times that ratio. So think about where this is going, right? Not good. Now, if I zoom into Ontario only, you can see that the ratio gets even worse, right? Because remember, Ontario gets like the blunt of the immigration from Canada being around like 40%, give or take, meaning that the ratio is 27 new people per one single family home being built. So it's not looking good right now in terms of the trend that we're heading. So yes, we're building too many condos, but only in the context that we aren't building enough single family homes for people to raise their families in right now. Again, which is the American, Canadian, whatever you want to call it, like the dream, right? The white picket fence dream. And this is why I've been saying for quite some time that owning land, like a single family home on a piece of land in the GTA, is going to be very, very difficult in the future as the demand for these products keep growing due to immigration and the fact that we do not build enough of these homes, because a lot of these single family home subdivision projects do not pencil right now, or we don't have enough land, or a combination of the two. While yes, I am still seeing new homes build around the outskirts of the Greenbelt, but they're all still starting at 1.3 million, which isn't affordable, or it may not pencil if the prices come down. And I'll add a little bit more color to this whole situation. Like, I wasn't born in Canada, and where I came from, my family, owning a single family home, like a piece of land, was super incredibly difficult. That's why the Canadian dream of house ownership was very desirable in our culture, and why a lot of people immigrated here, because it was achievable, right? But if we continue on this path, it's very evident that we're going to end up with families being raised in high-rise condos and apartments, kind of where I came from, which, by the way, there's nothing wrong with. It's totally normal, right? It's just we, as a culture in Canada or Toronto, haven't adjusted to that yet. Like, I grew up in an 800 square foot 3-bedroom with a family of 6, which was fine, right? But it's not the norm here, and it may not be for a while, but it may be forced in the near future because of affordability issues, right? And I'm already kind of seeing right now that, you know, the single family home, 3-bedroom, 3-washroom homes are getting multiple offers at the current time of shooting, even though the market hasn't really gone to spring market yet. And I would say that's mainly because the pent-up millennial buying cohort is feeling better about the market now, where instead of potentially being afraid of rate hikes, everyone's talking about rate coming down. So there's a little bit more like confidence in where it's going to go, right? So that's why if you look at this real estate index confidence, it's getting better. It's trending up. It's still bad, right? But it's just going in that direction where, you know, with the rate pause in the last week, maybe people who are looking to buy a single family home has a little bit more confidence to get off the sideline and get move on with their life and just make that move, as opposed to watching the prices surge in the future, right? So that's kind of why on Tuesday I talked about, you know, are people afraid and are the floodgates going to open? And like I was saying earlier, with this rate pause, this may give like the single family home buyers some confidence to get off the sideline and move on with their lives as they've been waiting around to see what's going to happen in the market, right? And make a move before they think the prices are going to surge, which I think some of them who are already kind of like paying attention to the market are slowly seeing the multiple offers, right? And we're really still going to find out how all this is going to, you know, play out this year. But it's similar to what I kind of predicted in my 2024 video. It's just, it's happening much faster than I would imagine, because we're like 2-3 weeks into January, right? Now, the single family homes will probably see that price increase as condos continue stagnating, which means that jumping from the condo to the single family home is going to get harder and harder. And this is why I'll be talking about these numbers next week. But I really hope this gives you an idea of like where the trends are heading based on all the charts and the stuff I just showed you in this video. But I want to show you this so that I can get ahead of it. And if you are contemplating making this move, whether you're planning to grow your family and you need more space, or you and your partner just need more space and not in a condo anymore, you could book a call with me using the link that's right here. It's www.chatwithzen.com to discuss what options we have and what may make sense for you before some of these trends that I'm seeing kind of take shape, right? Until next time, your move, your future. See ya. Now that you're done watching this one, how about this one or this one? You know what? Just watch them both.